Alright, so for the first part of the Devil's Lair, this checkpoint, there's a couple spots you can hide and just kind of get away from all the people that are attacking you. The first area is behind this metal crate. You can just kind of pop out and shoot people, and then when your shields get low, definitely go back there and let them recover. It's pretty much the only way you're just not going to let your shields go all the way down. Then the second area is up here on this rail, which is above the room that I just showed you. And you can pretty much see the whole map from here. So just try to take out as many people as possible. Just pay attention to the vandals that try to snipe you and stuff like that. If you need your shields to recover, just crouch behind this. And then just always keep an eye on radar for the drags and vandals that try to jump up and get onto the same area as you, because they will do that. So just make sure you always keep an eye out. Alright, so the second part of the Devil's Lair strike, you will be fighting a giant walker, which is like a robot spider type thing. You can either stay back here and snipe, or if you don't have a sniper, or if you just don't really care for that type of thing, you can go up here into one of these two buildings, which this one is my favorite one to go into because it's away from the enemies. You want to shoot the legs, because as you can see those are doing crits, and leg will break, and then it will break off. So you'll see like some damage done to it, and then it eventually will break off. And then when it's like this, is when it breaks off, and then you can shoot the engine that pops out, which does even more damage than shooting the legs. As you can see, you're going to want to take out the enemies, otherwise they're just going to, take you out. So... take those out. You're gonna want to avoid when he shoots his red laser at you. You're gonna want to basically run, jump, whatever you can do to get out of there, because it will kill you if you're too close. Now I'm gonna go to the second building that you can get to. This one has a lot more cover, but it also has all the enemies that spawn next to you, as well as easy spots for you to get stuck when he does the red laser that can kill you. You're gonna want to take out this vandal that's on the other side, otherwise he'll be just slowly be taking out your shield, and then you'll just die all of a sudden and not really know why. So this is the last part of the Devil's Lair strike. His weak spot is his eye, like the center of his eye. And so there's only a couple spots I like to use in here. One is this hallway. It's pretty good for getting him when he goes far in the end of the map, and for when he gets up close. The only thing you have to really worry about are the people that spawn nearby. But it provides good cover for your shield, so I recommend it. And then also up here, if you go up here and take cover behind this thing, it's a pretty good spot. The only issues you will have up here is him coming and going above your head. So just watch out for that, and you should be set for the rest of the strike. So this part is going to be a little bit short because the summoning pits doesn't really have any checkpoints that really, they have a lot of enemies spawn, but there's nowhere you can really just kind of sit there and take them out at your own pace. This one, at the end of it though, when you're fighting this ogre, if you head over here, you can take cover between this pillar and this rock. Between the two of them, you should be able to dodge most of his eye blasts. But you will want to take out pretty much any enemy that's like facing you or attacking you, because obviously, you don't want that. So between having this rock and this pillar, you're going to be protected. The only thing you have to worry about is enemies getting dropped off by the ship, which they spawn by that alkylate that I just killed. So just always keep an eye on radar and just kind of listen for the ship to come. If I can get him to turn around, I'll show you his weak spot, which is basically a bubble near his belly. I guess I'm just gonna have to go over there and show it to you. But yeah, it's right below his eye. So just look for that and just try to shoot that. Normally ogres are weak on their eye, but he is weak on his stomach, as I was just shooting. So yeah, just try to shoot that as much as you can, and obviously provide the most critical damage. So there is actually one more spot I can show you guys, and so if you have blink or some sort of glide or something, maybe even triple jump or double jump, if you come over here, you can jump up here, and if you can get up here, then it's pretty good because you can, pretty much see him all the time, and then when he shoots at you, you just gotta step back and then crouch, and you should be good. So just like the summoning pits, the Nexus doesn't really have anything in between where you need to take cover. So I'm just showing you guys the end. So if you have an upgraded glide or double jump, you can probably get up here. If not, you can do it from this side. All you gotta do is jump onto this pillar. And once you land on the pillar, you can jump onto that ledge right here. And then from here, you can jump up here, and you'll be able to shoot him pretty much any time. You don't really have to worry about the enemies that spawn off to the side, because unless you shoot at them, they don't really shoot at you. And so whenever he shoots at you, just jump back and take cover, and you should be okay. This is pretty much the best way to do it, but it's hard to do if everyone's up here, because then he's always shooting at you. So if you don't have upgraded glide or double jump or whatever, you're gonna have to go over here. It's on your left, and just go over here. It has this nice wall to hide behind. So just shoot the explosive so he doesn't make it explode on you, and just always keep an eye on the enemies. Make sure you're looking at your radar to know when they spawn, and you're just gonna have to wait for the shield to shoot them from here. So that's pretty much it for the Nexus. This is the Cabal Strike, and the first thing you're going to want to do is find a safe spot for you to start shooting him. Because if you go down there, you're going to face many enemies like, just legionaries and stuff like that. So you're going to want to try to stay up in this area. The first area that I'm going to suggest is this cliff over here. If you have a hand cannon, scout rifle, pulse rifle, sniper, whatever you have that's long range and you like to use, go up here and stay away from the wall. That way, if he shoots up here and hits the wall, it's not going to kill you. But you just got to lean over the edge, shoot him a few times. I mean, you're going to be set up there. The other way, which is the way I like to use, is to take the interceptor and drive down there and shoot him. You mostly just want to make sure you're never leaving, like he's never leaving your sight, because the moment that you're focused on killing these smaller enemies is the moment you're going to die. So just always keep an eye on them. Use that wall for cover if you ever need it, but otherwise just never stop moving. And the person who's going to give you the most trouble is going to be the Sentry, because he's got the most powerful weapons and he's got a shield. So you're going to want to take him out as soon as you find it's possible. I mean, just make sure you're not losing your focus on the tank, which I did. So just make sure you always have focus. That's all you really need to do for this checkpoint. So this is the end of the Cabal Strike. I'm going to show you where you can go to avoid really having to fight many of the smaller enemies and just worry about doing as much damage to him as possible while taking very little damage from him. So climb up on this ramp, squeeze in between the top of it and the wall, and then you can jump and shoot between these two boxes. And aim for his head because that's his weak spot. And you will occasionally take damage from his machine gun, but it hardly ever happens with the rocket. So you can get out by jumping on this box, and then you can also get in the same way. I just find the ramp easier to get in, but for getting out I like to go over the box. You will have to worry about smaller enemies like that legionary just kind of blocking your view and just waiting for you outside, so just try to take care of them if you can. He's switching to the other side of the map, so I'm going to show you guys another spot that's very similar to the one that I was just in. It's not as good, but you know, it's useful if you're just trying to get strikes done and you're afraid of just not being able to live through the strike. So just same principle, squeeze between the ramp and the wall, and then very little spots to like really see out of. As you can see, he's already heading back, so it's kind of useless for me. But nevertheless, it shows you a good spot. So I mean, use it if you need to, but if not, just fight. Well, that's the end of this video, and please subscribe to get new updates about videos that I will be posting.